And welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. I'm your host of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name is David Bradley, training facilitator and coach with Grant Cardone. What goes on the Cardone Solutions Podcast? Thank you for asking. Much appreciated. First timers, let me tell you what we do. People that have been with me for a while, thank you so much for coming back. Here's what happens on the Cardone Solutions Podcast. 85% of what we do at Cardone Training Technologies is 100% free. I'm going to go out into cyberspace and we'll find that free content. This could be a YouTube video Grant put out. This could be an article he's written, a blog post, tweets, maybe sometimes something from Instagram or something, right? I'm going to take the free content, break it down. I'm going to throw a little bit of my own 2 cents on it, put some of my spin on it. I'm going to give you some action ideas, put some additional value on it from yours truly, and then give it back to you so you can take it and then plug it into, and most importantly, get some results in your sales and your business and your life. That's what we do on the Cardone Solutions Podcast. Again, first timers, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you push that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And if you hear something that you like today, please share this sucker out so you can get it to other people. If you're benefiting from it, then I promise you somebody else will too. Don't be selfish. Share the love. Get it out there, okay? Today we're going to be talking about a topic that either is a source of dread for you or a source of great excitement, or maybe a little bit of both. Okay, so we're going to be talking about mastering sales objections today. Okay, so hope you're ready for that. Grab yourself a notepad. We're going to get into this in just a moment. But first, you know what's coming. A word from our sponsor. The Cardone Solutions Podcast is brought to you by Grant Cardone's Cardone University Coaching Program. All right, so check this out. Here's what we know right now. We have 84% of managers too busy to train and develop their salespeople the way they wish they could. Like they literally wish they could, but they can't. Too much going on, okay? Most managers, however, did get into management because they could produce. They were never taught how to train people and do that in a way that motivates them and transfers skill. Last thing here, last piece of this puzzle is that there is an 88% improvement in production and productivity when coaching and training gets involved. Wow, 88%, okay? Right, so this is where we come in, literally enter the Cardone University Coaching Program, where we become for you a virtual extension of your management team. Here's what you're going to get. Full access to Cardone University. In addition to that, over 30 managed learning courses that would be facilitated by a certified, well-trained Cardone expert like me. Okay, our process will increase engagement and accountability with your team. You can literally have us at a fraction of the cost of what it would cost to bring somebody in and do this in-house for you. We're going to work with you to increase sales volume, profitability, while reducing costs and expanding market share. Yep, we're going to do all 4 of those things. So for a complimentary sales process and even a free training analysis about what you're doing right now, call me. 310-777-0352 or fire off an email to david@grantcardone.com. That's 310-777-0352 or david@grantcardone.com. I look forward to talking to you. Now, on with the show. Mastering sales means mastering sales objections. Today's podcast is about mastering sales objections with Grant Cardone. We're taking this content from a blog post up on our Cardone University website. If you are hearing some version of not interested more often than you like, well, we got a solution for you. So stay to the end, okay? Do you find your prospects, their reasons, their justifications, their excuses, are they just shutting you down completely? Just slamming the brakes on everything you're trying to do right now? Have you ever gotten to a point where like asking anything from anyone has just become straight up discouraging? So the thing you got to recognize is that objections, they are part of the sales process. They're part of the package. They're part of the program. They happen. They will happen, okay? And that means if you don't know how to handle them, how to overcome them, then selling is going to be incredibly difficult for you, if not impossible. So first, though, let's look inward. Let's turn it inward for a second, okay? Think about objections that you have when you buy something. And what is it that causes your objections? What was your main concern? Was it you didn't want to pay too much? You didn't want to get ripped off? It wasn't the right solution? Fear of making a mistake? You needed some time to like really think this over and make sure that you are doing the right thing and not making a mistake. You want to talk to somebody else first? Okay. Look, everyone goes through this. You go through it. Your customers are going through it. It's part of the process of what? Decision making. People are going to object when you try to sell them something. It's in our nature to be cautious. Okay, which is why a massive amount of content has been created inside Cardone University, literally to help you prepare for handling these objections. And you want to do this before. You want to do it before you get hit with the inevitable objection so you can come back stronger and really close the sale. Okay? So if you want to master sales objections, well, then the first thing you got to do is you got to start by making a commitment. You want to commit to two things. Two things you need to commit to in order to master objections. Number one is you got to get your mind right about what most objections really are. And two, how to convert the energy of no, of disapproval, of rejection into something that is successful. That's a win-win for you and the client. And whether it's a product that you sell, whether it's a service you sell, whether it's an idea that you're selling, you can turn no's into yeses. Or better yet, you might even be able to prevent the customer from objecting in the first place. And you might not know this now, but that may be an indication that there's some kind of break in your cycle. Where the objection lies is an indication. So you want to identify what that is so you can actually tweak the approach a little bit. And if you want to become a master at handling objections, you're going to need to achieve a level of preparation where you're able to pitch, offer a solution, handle any objection, and then maintain control over the entire process. And that comes from practice. That comes from having the right information, the right knowledge. So, for example, inside Cardone University, as part of that program, we literally have objection handlings for every single area within the sales cycle. Things that you should be training on already, right? So, objections when you get in the prospecting. What about building rapport and fact-finding? What about submitting proposals or having objections to a proposal or even getting one? How do you create interest? What about when you're demonstrating your product? Presenting your product? What objections could pop up there that you need to prepare for? Negotiating, closing. Obviously, there'll be a lot in there, right? Okay. So if you're trying to understand why you can't close more deals, you're trying to work that out, right? And then more importantly, what to do about it, how to change that, right? Then the main thing comes from Grant's book, The Closer's Survival Guide. Grant says in that book, if you're getting too many no's, N-O, it means there's something you don't know, K-N-O-W. So N-O, no, equals no, or lack of no. No, it's a no. No. What I'm saying is too many no's, N-O, equals something you don't know, K-N-O-W, okay? Now, the challenge then becomes if you're sitting here thinking, man, why can't I grow my income? What's the solution to that? You want to make more money? What areas might you need some more work on in that area? So this is just like I'm scratching the surface of, we're just beginning of what and how we can teach you in order to amplify your sales techniques in those areas I just listed so you can start seeing some immediate results. Now, you can access Cardone U for this, and you can do it by yourself. If you got access to Cardone U right now and you're not too sure where to go to work on the objections that you're getting, let us know so we can help. If you're not on Cardone U, then you can actually get on it for free right now for like 2 weeks. Go to cardonesolutions.com/Cardone U free, cardonesolutions.com/Cardone, the letter U, and then the word free. Okay, go there. You can get registered for 2 weeks free on the program. Okay, or you can get a coach like me, right, to literally help you along, to guide you through it. And it's literally the difference between trying to figure it all out by yourself at the gym or just hiring a personal trainer, right? Okay, so you can get the tools you need so that you can handle even the most difficult sales objections you experience. And whether that's on the phone, whether that's in person, whether that's at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the process, Like, we can show you how to take complete control over your sales process. Not the customer, you can't control people anymore, but you can certainly control your process. And within that, dramatically increase your closing ratio. Would you like that? Because look, there's no better way to approach a sale. I talked about this in the very, very beginning. Handling objections can be a place of excitement for people, or they can be a source of dread. And I can't overemphasize the ease of this example, okay? If you are an MMA fighter and you have been preparing for that MMA fight your entire life, and you've spent the last 6 to 8 weeks really working on not just the fight, but how to beat the guy that you know you're going to fight, and you step into that octagon, you're really confident. You may not win, but how do you feel going into it? You excited about that? Most likely. Now, if you know nothing about fighting and somebody just drops you into that octagon, well, that's going to be a source of dread for you. Okay? So whether it's mastering sales objections, or mixed martial arts, you need to get the knowledge, and you need to get the training, and you need to get the skills you need. Right? Okay. So how do you handle not interested? I promised you I'd give this to you, right? So here's how to handle not interested. This is one way. There's 1,000 of them, but here's one. This is a favorite of mine. And when I put this together, I tried to make it as generic as possible. I know how I do it. Okay. But this is more of a generic version. You should be able to take this handling and then plug it into your world somehow, some way. Promise you that. Okay. And if you need a little help with it, let me know. So here you go. Several ways to do it, as I mentioned before. We teach multiple versions of this in Cardone University, including how to handle not interested. So, and what's best about it is it's not me, it's Grant. But, as promised, here's my favorite. Hey, no problem, sir. Most of the people we do business with started out not interested. I understand completely. The purpose of today's call is to show you what we're capable of doing so that when you are interested, I get a shot. Okay, so that's sort of how it goes. Let me just do it for you like in full speed, okay? Yeah, hey, thanks for the call, Dave, but we're not interested. Hey, no problem, sir. Most of the people we do business with started out not interested anyway. I understand completely. The reason I was calling today, the purpose of today's call is to just show you what we're capable of doing so that when you are interested, when you are ready, hey, I get a shot. You in front of a computer? And then I move into either fact-finding or towards the appointment. Does that make sense? So the question would then be is how does that apply to you? How can you apply that to you and what you do? If you get not interested, what are you going to do with it? Okay. So leave a comment for me. Wherever you're finding this, leave me a comment about that handling and your version of it. You could tweet it out to me as well if you want to, at David R. Bradley, but I'd love to hear what you do with it. If you have a success with it, if it moves you further along in your sales process, let me know. Okay. And with that, I shall take my leave. Thank you so much for listening. This has been another episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name is David Bradley, training facilitator and coach. Anything I can do to help and serve. I dropped my Twitter account just a minute ago, at David R. Bradley, but feel free to shoot me an email or a call. Phone number 310-777-0352. Email address david@grantcardone.com. Again, 2 weeks free access to Cardone University right now with your name on it. If you haven't taken advantage of it, do it. CardoneSolutions.com/Cardone, the letter U, the word free. That's CardoneSolutions.com/Cardone U free. I will leave you with the words of Grant Cardone. No, not I apologize in advance, but be great, because nothing else pays. See you soon.